right, this week on Rob Smith is Problematic, we are breaking down the biggest winners and losers of 2020 as we bring this year to a close. One of the biggest winners in 2020 was the MAGA movement. Yes, the movement that propelled Donald Trump to the presidency in 2016 has taken on a life of its own in 2020 and beyond. And even though we didn't get the ultimate goal of 4 more years of President Trump, the moves that the MAGA movement has made, the personalities in terms of media personalities, in terms of people that are actually in Congress, in terms of the people that have become so prominent in the past 4 years that are a part of this MAGA, Make America Great Again, America First, pro-America, whatever you want to call it, movement. This movement is one of the biggest winners of 2020, and I'm going to tell you why. The people that are involved in this movement, the messages and the ideas behind this movement, everything about this movement is going to completely define American politics for the decades to come. I'm telling you guys, the people that are prominent right now because of this, you want to call it riding on the Trump train, you want to call it riding on the pro-America train, you want to call it riding the MAGA train, whatever you want to call it, even though this was all about supporting President Trump and his agenda, and even though that agenda is going to come to a close, I guess, in the White House, that doesn't mean that the people on the street stop fighting for this agenda, because this has taken on truly a life of its own. We're seeing so many people that hopped on the Trump train and became prominent for this movement. We're seeing so many of them run for Congress. We are seeing so many of them become more prominent. We are seeing so many of them having an actual voice in terms of how this country goes and how America goes. We have seen the most diverse group of people that you have ever seen supporting Republican policies, Republican candidates. We got black men, black women, Latino women, gays, straights, like everybody, because there's room for everybody in the MAGA movement as long as you're America First, as long as you're pro-America, as long as you are about putting the needs of America before you take care of anybody else in the world. You are a part of the MAGA agenda. And so it is you, it is me, it is all of us that have made our voices heard in the past 4 years, that have made our voices heard in 2020 and beyond, that are the reason why I think the MAGA movement is one of the biggest winners of 2020. The MAGA movement is not going anywhere. These Trumps are not going anywhere. The people who connected to their policies are not going anywhere, because you know what? Before the MAGA movement and before Donald Trump and before all this, people were silent and people were afraid. And people were able to really step up and stand up and say what they believe. But this new movement, this MAGA movement, this is a generation of fighters. This is a generation of people that stand up. This is a generation of people that speak out. We are people that will not back down to the left. And that is why the MAGA movement is one of the biggest winners of 2020, and we will be a force in American politics for decades to come.